Good morning to everybody. L.N.Ayurvedic P.G.entrance Coaching Center, Hyderabad. Today's class, prediction of death science, how described in Ayurveda. It is really very interesting and a wonderful point. How in olden days, how they have predicted the science prior to death. Science prior to death. In Charaka, Indriyasthana, clearly they have mentioned. See, that means beginning from the point of treatment, ending with the treatment. In the meanwhile, what are the changes taking place? If it asadhya roga or in kurchasadhya roga, if the person is nearing the death, how they have described the science per death is very, very interesting point. Chapter by chapter, we are analyzing Charaka, Indriyasthana. You will come to know very, very clearly. This Indriyasthana, in the first chapter, Varna Swarupiyam Adhyayam. Varna Swarupiyam, and what does it mean? It means that prediction of the science prior to death by means of the complexion of the body and by voice, by observing the changes in the voice box, they have predicted the bad signs. It's really very difficult to practice the system of Ayurveda by studying the total concepts, because understanding the concept mentioned in Ayurveda, it is very difficult. It is linked with different parameters. Now, come to our second point. Charaka Indriyasthana, second chapter, deals with Pushpitakam Indriyam Adhyayam. That means, if how by inhaling the smell of a flower, we can understand the floral characters, how the flower is arranged, what is the quality of the sepals and petals in those days. They have explained very, very clearly. So it indicates the healthy status of a flower, the healthy status of a plant also. It was described in Ayurveda. See, if we are analyzing point by point. Here, how it is and on what ground it was compared with Pushpa, means by observing the flower or flower smell, we can predict the qualities of the flowers. In the same manner, the point is applicable in case of order of a body, will help us to ascertain the prior symptoms to death. Now, third chapter deals with Parimasraniyam Adhyayam, Indriyam Adhyayam. That means it deals with the prodromal symptoms pertaining to death linked with the touch, sparsha. So by sparsha, by touching the patient, we can understand the healthy status, or we can understand the degree of the pathology, whether it is a sadhya, asadhya, kutsira sadhya, all the things we will come to know. Fourth chapter deals with Indriyam Anekam Adhyayam. Death prediction based on the symptoms of the sense organs. See, generally in bits how they will come in, how in which chapter the signs and symptoms pertaining to death described in Indriyasthana. Or they may ask the title name and in the sthana chapter name, or chapter name in the sthana, chapter name, main chapter name, they may ask. So in two angles here we are prone. See now, for example, you take fourth chapter, Indriyaniyam Adhyayam. That is what I say, Indriyaniyam Adhyayam. So prediction of the death science based on the symptoms of the sense organs. So in Uchi Samhita, Uchi Sthana, signs and symptoms of a body ascertained and mentioned. Charaka, Susruta, Vagbhata. So anyone may be there, but here Charaka, Indriyasthana, fourth chapter. Because this is linked with the sense organs. In Uchisthana, the signs and symptoms prior to death linked with the sense organs mentioned. A. Charaka Samhita, B. Susur Samhita, so and so. Otherwise, in the Samhita itself, different sthanas may be mentioned in the order ABC. In order ABC, along with sthana number. chapter number. So you think it's not a easy task to find out all the things. In our regular classes, you will come to know chapter wise bits, so that what happens within the in long term project, in long term course, in training, you will have full maturity to attempt the examinations, either for the interviews or either for the, what I mean to say, any PG entrance examinations. Now we are coming to the fifth chapter is Charaka Samhita Indriyasthana, dealing with the Puroripiyam Indriyam Adhyayam, that means the production of the death based on the symptoms of the diseases, based on the signs and symptoms of the disease. In which chapter, which Samhita, which Sthana it was mentioned, the question may be asked later. So now, sixth one, prediction of the death based on the signs and symptoms of the patient. Just by seeing the patient, you can see whether Sajyaroga is having, Asajyaroga is having, Kurtira Sajyaroga is having, what is what, you can predict it. This is linked with the chapter number 6. This is linked with the chapter number 6. Now, chapter number 7 deals with the Pannarupiya Madhyayam, prediction of the death signs based on the pupil movement. Based on the pupil movement, they have predicted the death signs. That is chapter number 7. Chapter number 8, Avaka Sirsaniyam Adhyayam. What is Avaka Sirsaniyam Adhyayam? In the sense, Avaka Sirsaniyam Adhyayam. It deals with the production of the withdrawal symptoms pertaining to death, related with the shada of the individual. By observing the shada of the individual in olden days, they have clearly understood and understanding also. Now, try to understand in the system of Ayurveda, in Charaka Samhita, Indriyasthana, it is very, very clearly mentioned how to predict the bad signs when you are treating. What for you have to understand, it gives a standard parameter for us whether we have to treat the patient or not, weaken or not. How far we will come to know. Blindly starting the treatment is not a criteria. When a person comes to our clinic, you have to assess the internal organs strategy. What strategy here? Pertain to quality, pertain to functions. See, chemistry is not there in olden days, but chemistry related subject matter is there in olden days. In Ayurveda it is there. Because of the improved technology and terminology, today we are using the paperwork documentation. What do you mean to say? Diagnostic paperworks. Just by observing the netram, whether the blood level is there sufficient or not, you can say. Today we are going the complete blood picture. It is an improvement. It is a additional information for us. But in olden days, without this complete blood picture came into which century, which year, you think once again, go back. How in olden days they have observed the level of the blood in those days? No, see, complete blood picture was not there in olden days. Hope you are not rejecting my voice, accepting what I am thinking now. Okay, that means fundamentals are there. You have to analyze the fundamentals. Now you are coming to the sixth one, what I have completed just now. Is it not? Pannarupiyam Adhyayam, prediction of the signs based on the movement of the pupils. Now, Avaka Sirsanayam Adhyayam, based on the shadow of the individual. Then, Syavanimitiyam Adhyayam. It deals with the predominant symptoms pertaining to death based on the blackish discoloration of the eyes. See, that is why Rupa Pariksha, Darshana Pariksha, direct examination of the patient is very, very important. Blindly, of course, today you came video examination is there, online examinations are there. Of course, timing to save the patient's condition, to get the symptomatic relief, nothing wrong in that. But basically, we have to see the patient very, very clearly. Okay, today in this class we came to know Charaka, Indriyasthana, how many sthanas are there, which sthana what is what, and sthana name, chapter number you have to go through. Here 3 points you are supposed to cover. I am covering in our routine PG entrance examination study material part and parcel. Number 1, chapter name you have to go through very, very clearly. Total number of chapters you have to go through. And in each chapter, what is the main content? Based on the which content the name is given, you are supposed to go through and open the Charaka Samhita and Rishtana and practice. It gives a good foundation to you to become a good practitioner. So blindly don't believe it is only for PG seats. Apart from that, it helps you to get the standards also to improve your practice. Thank you. Today's class is over.